there's no doubt that the popularization of AI will make some jobs obsolete on one hand, but on the other, it will give an impulse to create completely new job positions with specific skill set required. But it already looks that AI can do it all on its own without humans, from simple repetitive tasks to even creative jobs. So the question remains, what's left? Will human skills or so-called soft skills be replaced next, or is there something that we actually can do about it? Welcome to TechNouts, podcast by Invedo, where we take journeys through the business galaxies. Today, I'll be traveling with Dominika Olczak, People Operations Lead at Invedo. Hi, Dominika. It's really great that you're here.
Hi, Natalia. Hi, everyone. I am really glad that we can today chat a bit about people-centric and people skills in terms of artificial intelligence and the subjects that are really close to the artificial intelligence in terms of this people-centric approach.
Great. I'm really happy and excited as well because we actually we share a common ground. We both work at people-facing positions because you as people operations lead and me as business developer, we actually rely very, very much on the so-called soft skills or people skills. So just to kind of like give the baseline of our further conversation, could you tell me and tell us what kind of skills are most important in your everyday job?
So when I am thinking about the roles and jobs connected with people operations or HR and all the recruitment processes, and not only the recruitment processes, I would say that there are many skills that are crucial in our roles, but also the ones that are just helping us in daily tasks. But maybe I will just choose three that I think that are the most important from my perspective and in my role, I assume. So the first one for sure will be the communication, because I am communicating not only with my team, but also with other teams, with other roles and different areas of expertise. So I would say this communication is very important. And I would say not only in my role, but typically it's just connected with the teamwork. So it's very common one. Skill that is very important. The second one, I would say the empathy, but empathy in terms of understanding different parties, because we have to understand and identify the needs of the company, of the candidates, of our team, and also of the clients. So it's very important to understand all the needs of these different perspectives, and to provide all these people with the information that they need and that they have to have. So this is the second one. And the third one, I would say this is the analytical thinking, because when we are making decisions, when we are monitoring the processes that we are conducting, it's very important to make the data-driven decisions. So I would say that this is the third one that is kind of important also in my role.
Cool.
Yeah.
So communication, empathy, and analytical thinking, decision making. It's almost like you're describing my job because it's very similar. Yes, but I want to focus on the communication first because that's what I think is right now a hot topic when it comes to AI and its skills to communicate. Because nowadays there are not only impressive text-based chats, but there are also voice bots and even I saw some samples of video bots being able to communicate at almost human level. Of course, we're talking only about samples, but like in a couple of years, it may actually become reality. So what about human communication skills? Do you think that in terms of this new AI tools, will this skill be replaced? Will it be, just not needed anymore, or quite the opposite? Will it even be more valuable?
I would say that I hope it will not be replaced, because we will still be working with other human beings, with other people. So we do really need to know how to communicate with others. So in my opinion, the importance of the communication skill will be only growing. Okay. But as you've mentioned, the text box and the voice bots, I am pretty sure that every person, at least once, has an opportunity to, to have a chat box and to communicate in such a manner. And I think that it is quite nice tool when we are thinking about, for example, very common questions or the questions that are repetitive, because when we are thinking about very complex problems, we still, at the end, we are talking with a human being and with another person that can help us with the solution of our problem. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's actually interesting that you're mentioning this, because only yesterday, and I'm not joking, only yesterday I had a automatic call from some voice bot that was asking me about photovoltaics. If you're a listener from Poland, you know why it's a very common thing. But it's not a topic for today. And I was able to tell immediately that it was a voice bot, because it didn't understand all of my answers and it was like repeating questions and so on. But we are at the beginning of the journey, and there are samples of voice bots that are able to do so much more, and they sound really, really convincing. So I think that there will be more and more tools like that. Yeah. But I actually agree with you that they will be probably most commonly used for those simple jobs and repetitive tasks, because at the end some issues might be really, really complex, and this human touch might be needed. So I agree on that with you. But we discussed the communication, and you also mentioned empathy. You also mentioned decision making and analytical thinking. So there are also other soft skills or people skills that we can discuss. What about them? Do you think there's anything else that the AI can maybe support or maybe completely replace?
Support, I think, yes, even the communication skills, because, for example, when we are writing a long email and we can ask AI to help us and check if there are any mistakes, or if the email is fine and we can, or if we can improve it. So I think that supporting our everyday job is very crucial to know how to use artificial intelligence, and I would say that it's important to use the right tools in the right way. I would say that this is very, very important, and it can be very, very helpful in our everyday work, even if we are thinking about the soft skills, because I think it is also a way how to enhance our skills and possibilities to grow in this area.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I think the one that puts mind at ease, because using the tools right can actually make job easier. Of course, I totally agree with that. I don't think there's any discussion, but even though we plan to use the AI tools as a supplement, as something helping us, complementary to our skills, there will be still some positions that will be just cut off and redundant, because AI will do this faster, better, and cheaper, of course. And this season, and I'm talking about summer 2023, there were some big headlines with voicing concern about AI, especially with Hollywood, and there were Hollywood actors and writers going on strike because they were concerned that AI will take away the creative jobs, the jobs from them. So that's one side of the barricade. There are people already voicing their concern. And then on the other side, we have companies that are really proud and they're really announce proudly that they're using AI tools and they're testing them to actually replace the workers. So, adding even a little bit more to this fire. For example, Wendy's, it's a fast food chain from US. They announced quite recently that they're testing a chatbot taking drive-through orders. So there are two sides of this. I don't want to say conflict, but for sure a discussion. So what's your take on that? Where will it go?
I would say that for sure the job market will change, and it will be a huge revolution. And these jobs that we know already probably will be redefined. Not for sure, not of all of them, but some of them. And the roles and the jobs will evolve. So this is for sure. But maybe not talking only about my perspective and my point of view. I was lately reading the World Economic Forum report, The Future of Jobs 2023. And there was a claim that the impact of the technology on jobs is expected to be net positive in the future 5 years. So I guess that we will be taking part in this huge evolution of the jobs and understanding of some roles, some positions, redefinition of these roles. Because as you've mentioned, artificial intelligence will help us, especially with the tasks that that are repetitive, that are bringing that they look the same every time that we are trying to do them. So for sure there will be a lot of change, but I think the workload that we will have it will be less, and we will have more space for more creative work, innovative work, and for strategic thinking. So I think it will be very, very helpful also for us. So in my opinion, we just have to, be up to date, and we just have to know what is going on the market, what is going on in artificial intelligence industry, and how it is all growing and evolving.
I think that's a very positive take on that. I mean, we don't like changes as human beings, not all of us at least, and not big changes. There were moments in history similar to what we're facing right now with invention of cars or a train before that, and people were afraid that driving at such a speed will be bad for health and what will happen. And then, with computerization, a lot of jobs already were replaced, right? We're not talking about AIs, but talking about simple computerization and automation of things. So a lot of things we started doing faster and more efficient, and that replaced some jobs, but also created a lot of more important positions. So I think I have a similar take on that. I also look with hope into the future,
like opportunity.
yes. Yeah. I do see this as an opportunity, but let's focus a little bit on the specific opportunities, because as you mentioned, one of your areas that you're taking care of is recruitment, and I actually have a background as a recruiter as well, so I was thinking it's a good chance to talk about that, because when I used to be a recruiter, there were already a lot of tools to choose from, helping with automation, with managing candidates, with sending some automatic replies, with managing their resumes. So is there anything left for the AI to still improve? And, maybe you're already using some tools, or maybe you would like to see something being done that would help with the recruitment process.
Yeah, as we've mentioned, the automation is very important in our everyday work. And in my opinion, it really helps us to focus more on people, because when we automate the tasks or the processes that we are involved in, we do have more time to be just focused on other people, all the people that are involved in the process. So I see it as a big asset. So when I'm thinking about AI and if there is a space for it, I would say of course, because for example, I have to mention that when we are talking about using artificial intelligence, it is always very important to know what is going on with our data that we are providing to it, and the privacy policy, and in general the privacy of the data, what is going on. So I have to mention that. For example, in my role, in my work, I am sometimes using ChatGPT because, for example, when we are starting a recruitment for a new role, we do know what we want from this person. We do know what this person have to do, but maybe there are some things that we were not aware of, or maybe some other, insights that we should take care of and also include in this role. Or maybe, for example, when we are even writing the job offers, it is always nice to, for example, AI to have a look. I'm saying have a look at it and give us some suggestions what we can change in this job offer, what we can add to this job offer. So I think there is still a place, for example, for me also gathering all the information about the market and all the market insights, what is going on and how it, for example, will influence our company, making some predictions. It might be very useful, but of course we also have to be very aware how to use AI and use it in a right way, as we were talking before. So I think it's the most important.
Yeah, I think you're actually mentioning a very important, just touching a very important topic, and I don't want to dive into that, but the case of privacy and laws, gathering the usage of AI, who's responsible for the misinformation, for example, that can be created with AI, because there are some cases of AI hallucinating, so-called hallucinating, so making up information, because after all, it is a language model that just puts different words together, right? And then sometimes they're not true. So it's a big topic for the legislation to catch up on with. But I think it's like a separate episode when it comes to that.
Exactly.
It is. All right. So I think we actually touched a lot of topics, and some of them deserve a separate episode. So just to kind of summarize, let me quote what Sam Altman said, the CEO of OpenAI, because he said that we expected AI to actually tackle easy repetitive task at the beginning, as we already discussed, but and then maybe do creative jobs in the future, but we are already seeing that AI can do both of those things, right? So just to kind of summarize and leave our listeners with something to take and think about, what are the most important skills and approach to that AI and using AI at work and staying competitive at the job market? What kind of advice would you give?
I have to mention the soft skills that we are talking about, especially the communication skills, because communication is inextricably linked with teamwork. So when we are working with other people, it's very important to know how to communicate. But also being curious, being a person who really wants to learn new things and be up to date, and especially when we are talking about the technology, when the technology is growing really fast. And we have to be up to date, and we just need to learn new things. So I think these skills, also the flexibility, because right now we are living in a very dynamic environment, and I think it will not slow down. It will be only probably faster. The changes will be faster. So I think the flexibility, the possibility to adapt to new technologies, to new tools, being curious how they are working and how to cope with them. I think this is very, very important. When I am thinking about the jobs, the jobs that can be or actually are also important right now nowadays, all the jobs connected with AI, with big data, with data analysis, with machine learning, and of course with the security, especially the cyber security.
Oh yes, yeah.
I would say that these are the jobs that will be more and more important in the future. So I would say that let's see what the future brings. But if I have to make a guess how it is going to evolve, I would say that this is the direction.
That's the direction. Yeah. Yes, I totally agree. Only recently I learned that some people are already preparing to become a prompter. So a person that actually asks the right questions to the AI to generate what is needed. Because, and I'm also speaking from experience, it's not that easy to actually express what you expect. Yeah. Just like you said, with communication, it's just a different form of communication. With people, we do this, of course, like more naturally. We discuss things. With AIs, we have to learn how to do this in an efficient way as well, because there are some just specific words that can give other results and specific ways of wording things that will create totally different results. So it is a job that we are already seeing becoming a reality, right? So that's really, really fascinating.
Yeah, exactly. And also communication is very complex because when you are communicate with others, or even when you are communicating with, for example, ChatGPT, for example, very important is the context. Oh, yes. What do you want to achieve by obtaining this information? And also when it comes to the humans, the non-verbal communication. So I would say it's very, very complex, the communication itself. So this is why, in my opinion, it will be only more and more important in the future, not only in the work environment, but on daily basis.
Okay, cool. And let's leave it at that. But before we finish, I actually have one last question. Because as you know, we at Invedo have this motto, go beyond, which brings to mind space exploration, astronauts. We even have one here. So I have to ask, do you have like a favorite science fiction movie or series? Are you even into that topic? And is there something you can recommend?
I am not so sure because I'm not really into science fiction, but lately I was watching the series Silos. The Silo, it's very, very good one. It's a bit, I would say, maybe not creepy. It's not the word that I am looking for, but
it's anti-utopia, I think, kind of vibes.
Yeah, so it's like it's very mysterious, and actually, after such series or such movies, you are always thinking, okay, we do really have to make something that our future will not look like this, or we are just starting to think if our future is going to look like that. Yeah, so I would say this one.
Yeah. Okay, it's a great recommendation. I also I applaud. I recently watched the series as well. I'm actually the biggest fan of this kind of science fiction and science related movies that make us think about the future and make us reflect on who we are as humans and where we're going. So yeah, it's actually connected to our topic of like people skills, soft skills, communication, and everything that makes us human. So yeah, thank you very much for this recommendation. Thank you for being here for this podcast, for this episode, and yeah, have a great fun with AIs in your everyday job.
Thank you so much. I hope that I would have. So we will see how it is going to evolve.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for inviting me and having me here today.
Thank you.